All right, I've got a challenge for you. By the end of this video, I bet you'll be able to spot at least 3 of these signs in your own life. We're talking about 12 clear indicators that a younger woman is into older men. Most guys are walking around with blinders on, missing these signals left and right. But not you, not anymore. Ready to open your eyes? Picture this. You're at a coffee shop, sipping your espresso. A young woman keeps glancing your way, smiling. She even asks about the book you're reading, but you just nod politely and go back to your coffee. Sound familiar? That's the kind of opportunity we're talking about. Of course, now you may think it's obvious, but when you're there, you don't realize it soon enough. Here's the thing, recognizing these signs isn't just about ego. It's about opening doors to real connections, to relationships that could change your life. And let me tell you, the most crucial sign, it's not what you think, but we'll get to that. For now, let's start our journey. First stop, a sign so subtle you might have missed it 100 times already. Listen up, because this is where it all begins. You've probably heard that communication is key in relationships. But when it comes to younger women and older men, it's not just about talking, it's about the depth of your conversations. Think back to the last time you chatted with a younger woman. Did she ask about your life experiences, your views on relationships, your advice on career moves? If so, you might have missed a clear sign of her interest. You see, younger women who are attracted to older men often crave meaningful dialogue. They're not looking for small talk about the weather or what's trending on social media. No, they want to tap into your wisdom, your experiences, your perspective on life. Now, I know what you're thinking, but she's just being polite, right? Wrong. There's a big difference between polite conversation and genuine curiosity. When a younger woman is truly interested, she'll ask follow-up questions. She'll lean in, literally and figuratively, to hear your stories. She'll remember details from previous conversations and bring them up later. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're at a social gathering and a younger woman asks about your career. If she's just being polite, she might nod along and change the subject after a minute or two. But if she's interested, she'll dig deeper. She might ask about the challenges you've faced, the lessons you've learned, or how your career has shaped your worldview. This brings us to our first clear sign: extended, meaningful conversations. When a younger woman consistently engages you in deep, thought-provoking discussions, it's more than just chat. It's a sign of respect, admiration, and yes, attraction. If you experienced this recently, feel free to share it in the comments, as we are building a great community here. But wait, there's more. The second sign is equally powerful: emotional sharing. When a younger woman opens up to you about her own life, her dreams, her fears, her struggles, she's showing a level of trust that goes beyond casual interest. Picture this scenario. You're having coffee with a younger woman, and she starts talking about her career aspirations. Suddenly, her eyes well up as she confides her fears of failure. In that moment, she's not just making conversation. She's seeking your emotional support and wisdom. She's showing you a vulnerable side that she doesn't share with just anyone. This emotional openness is a clear indicator that she values your perspective and feels a connection with you. It's not just about age or experience. It's about the emotional safety and understanding she feels in your presence. Now, here's the kicker. These 2 signs, deep conversations and emotional sharing, are often intertwined. One leads to the other in a beautiful dance of connection. When you engage in meaningful dialogue, it creates space for emotional vulnerability. And when she shares her emotions with you, it deepens your conversations even further. But remember, this is just the beginning. These signs of deep conversation and emotional sharing, they're powerful, sure, but they're nothing compared to what's coming next. We're about to dive into signs that are even more subtle, yet incredibly revealing. More videos like this are coming. Hit subscribe so you won't miss them. Now, let's talk about something that goes beyond just conversation. It's a sign that's often overlooked, but it speaks volumes about a younger woman's attraction to an older man. I'm talking about respect, not just the polite kind, but the deep, genuine respect that comes from true admiration. You see, when a younger woman is attracted to an older man, it's not just about his looks or his status. It's about who he is as a person, the life he's lived, and the wisdom he's gained along the way. This respect shows up in ways you might not expect. Think about the last time you were with a younger woman. Did she lean in when you were speaking, hanging on your every word? Did she ask follow-up questions about your experiences, genuinely interested in your perspective? That's not just politeness, that's respect. But it goes deeper than that. A younger woman who's attracted to you might show her respect by valuing your opinions, even on topics where you might disagree. She's not just nodding along. She's engaging with your ideas, considering your point of view. She might even defend your perspective to others, showing that she values your wisdom. Here's a clear sign to look out for. Does she bring up things you've said in the past? If she remembers your advice or your stories and references them later, that's a powerful indicator of respect. It shows she's not just listening in the moment, she's internalizing what you say, seeing value in your words long after they've been spoken. Now, let's talk about another way this respect might manifest. Have you ever noticed a younger woman going out of her way to support you? Maybe she shows up to events that are important to you, even if they're not her usual scene. Or perhaps she takes an interest in your hobbies or passions, wanting to understand what makes you tick. This kind of support goes beyond mere politeness. It's a sign that she respects who you are as a person, your interests, your commitments, your values. She's not trying to change you or mold you into something else. Instead, she's showing that she values you for exactly who you are. Here's an example. Let's say you're passionate about classic cars. A younger woman who respects you might not know much about cars herself, but she'll listen intently when you talk about them. She might even surprise you by learning a bit about the topic on her own time, just so she can engage with you more deeply on something that matters to you. This respect can also show up in how she handles challenges in your relationship. When faced with criticism from others about your age difference, does she stand her ground? Does she defend your relationship, not just to her friends, but to her family as well? That's a clear sign of deep respect and commitment. Remember, this isn't about her putting you on a pedestal. True respect isn't about thinking someone is perfect. It's about seeing someone's flaws and strengths and valuing them for their whole self. When a younger woman respects you in this way, she's showing that she's attracted to the real you, not some idealized version of an older man. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I know if it's genuine? Well, consistency is key. Look for these signs of respect over time, not just in isolated incidents. Does she consistently show interest in your life experiences? Does she regularly seek out your opinion on important matters? That consistency is what separates true respect from fleeting interest. Before I reveal the sign hardest to notice, remember this. When you find a younger woman who shows you this kind of respect, treasure it. It's a rare and beautiful thing. It means she sees beyond the surface, beyond the age difference, to the person you truly are. And that, my friend, is a solid foundation for a meaningful relationship. You know, sometimes the smallest actions speak the loudest. When it comes to a younger woman's attraction to an older man, her thoughtful gestures can reveal far more than words ever could. These aren't grand, showy displays. We're talking about the little things that many men overlook. Think about it. Has a younger woman ever remembered something you mentioned in passing, weeks or even months ago? Maybe it was your favorite book or a hobby you're passionate about. If she brings it up later, or uses that information to do something special for you, pay attention. That's not just a good memory, it's a sign she's truly invested in getting to know you. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're having dinner with a younger woman, and you casually mention that you've always wanted to try cooking paella. A few weeks later, she invites you over for a home-cooked meal. You walk in to find she's attempted to make paella, complete with a bottle of Spanish wine. Now the paella might not be perfect, but that's not the point. The fact that she remembered, planned, and put in the effort, that's what matters. This kind of thoughtfulness goes beyond just remembering details. It's about the effort she puts into making you feel valued. Has she ever surprised you with a small gift that's perfectly suited to your interests? Maybe a vintage record for your collection or a book by your favorite author? These aren't expensive or flashy presents. Their value lies in how personal they are, how well they show she understands and appreciates who you are. Now, you might be wondering why these gestures are particularly significant coming from a younger woman. Well, it's simple. In a world where instant gratification and surface-level connections are the norm, especially for younger generations, this level of thoughtfulness stands out. It shows a maturity and depth of feeling that goes beyond mere physical attraction or the excitement of dating an older man. When a younger woman consistently makes these thoughtful gestures, she's demonstrating that she sees you as more than just an age or a status symbol. She's showing that she values you for who you are, with all your quirks and interests. She's invested in your happiness and well-being. That's not just attraction, that's the foundation of a real, meaningful connection. But let's dig a little deeper. The next sign is still within this topic. Have you noticed a younger woman going out of her way to accommodate your needs or preferences? Maybe she suggests meeting at your favorite cafe, even though it's out of her way. Or perhaps she adjusts her schedule to match yours, making time for you despite her busy life. This kind of consideration is powerful. It shows she's willing to make sacrifices, however small, for your comfort and happiness. In a world where everyone's busy and self-focused, this level of accommodation is rare. It's a clear indicator that she prioritizes your relationship and wants to make things work. I remember a time when a younger woman I knew learned that I had a long day at work ahead. Without prompting, she showed up at my office with a homemade lunch, knowing I often skip meals when I'm busy. It wasn't a grand gesture, but it spoke volumes about her care and consideration. These thoughtful actions and accommodations are more than just kindness. They're a language of their own, a way of saying, "I care about you," without words. When a younger woman consistently speaks this language, it's a strong sign that her interest in you is genuine and deep. Now, I know what you're thinking. These signs sound great, but are they really that significant? Trust me, they are. In fact, they're some of the clearest indicators of genuine attraction and connection. But here's the kicker. They're just the tip of the iceberg. Next comes the most meaningful sign. Let's challenge a common misconception right off the bat. You've probably heard that younger women are only interested in older men for their money or status. Well, I'm here to tell you that's often far from the truth. In fact, one of the most powerful signs of attraction is when a younger woman seeks you out for emotional support and wisdom. Think about it. In a world where young people are constantly bombarded with information, why would a younger woman turn to you for guidance? It's not just about your years on this earth. It's about the depth of your experiences, the richness of your perspective, and the stability you bring to the table. When a younger woman comes to you with her problems, her fears, her dreams, that's not just casual conversation. It's a clear sign that she values your insight and trusts your judgment. She's showing you that she sees you as more than just an older guy. She sees you as a source of strength and wisdom. Now you might be wondering, what does this look like in real life? Well, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're out for coffee with a younger woman. Suddenly, she opens up about a conflict at work. She's not just venting, she's asking for your advice, your perspective. She wants to know how you'd handle the situation. That right there, that's a sign of genuine attraction. But it goes deeper than just asking for advice. When a younger woman truly values your emotional support, she'll come back to you time and time again. She'll share her victories with you, wanting to celebrate with someone who understands her journey. She'll also turn to you in her darkest moments, seeking the comfort and stability you provide. This isn't about her being needy or dependent. Far from it. It's about her recognizing the unique value you bring to her life. She's attracted to your emotional maturity, your ability to weather life's storms, and your capacity to offer meaningful support. Now, let's talk about another sign that's closely related but distinct. Have you ever noticed a younger woman actively seeking out your life lessons? I'm not talking about her politely nodding along when you share a story. I mean her genuinely asking about your experiences, wanting to learn from your successes and your failures. This is a powerful indicator of attraction because it shows she's thinking long-term. She's not just interested in who you are now. She wants to understand how you became the man you are today. She's looking at you as a potential partner, someone she can grow with and learn from. You might find her asking about your career path, your past relationships, or the challenges you've overcome. She's not just making conversation, she's gathering wisdom. She's attracted to the idea of building a life with someone who's already navigated the waters she's just beginning to explore. Remember, this isn't about her putting you on a pedestal. It's about her recognizing the value of your life experience. She's attracted to the idea of a partner who can offer guidance without controlling her path. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I know if it's genuine? Well, consistency is key. Is she regularly turning to you for support and wisdom? Does she follow up on the advice you've given her? Does she share how your insights have impacted her decisions? These are all signs that her attraction goes beyond the surface. But here's the thing, and this is important. Don't mistake her seeking support for weakness. A younger woman who turns to you for emotional guidance is often strong, self-aware, and ambitious. She's not looking for someone to solve her problems. She's looking for a partner who can support her as she tackles life's challenges head-on. This kind of attraction, based on emotional connection and mutual growth, that's the foundation of a truly meaningful relationship. It's not about age, it's about two people coming together, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. The next two signs will be those she is not even aware of. You know, there's something magical about finding common ground with someone. It's like discovering a hidden bridge that connects two distant islands. And when it comes to attraction between younger women and older men, shared interests can be that bridge, spanning the years and bringing two souls closer together. Now, you might be thinking, what could a younger woman possibly find interesting about my hobbies? Well, let me tell you, it's not about the hobby itself. It's about the passion behind it. When a younger woman shows genuine enthusiasm for your interests, she's doing more than just being polite. She's opening a door to your world, inviting herself in. Imagine this. You're at a gallery, admiring a piece of art. A younger woman approaches, and instead of just nodding politely, she starts discussing the artist's technique. She asks about your interpretation, shares her own thoughts. That right there, that's not just small talk. That's her showing a real interest in something you care about. But it goes deeper than just joining in on your hobbies. When a younger woman is truly attracted to you, she'll make efforts to understand and engage with your interests, even if they're completely new to her. She might read up on topics you've mentioned, or ask questions to learn more about your passions. This isn't just about impressing you. It's about creating a shared language, a common ground where you can connect. Think back to a time when a younger woman surprised you with knowledge about something you love. Maybe she referenced a classic film you once mentioned, or asked a thoughtful question about your favorite author. That's not coincidence. That's her making an effort to step into your world. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When a younger woman is attracted to you, she might even invite you into her world of interests. She's not just adapting to your hobbies. She's looking for ways to blend your worlds together. This could mean suggesting activities that combine both your interests or finding modern twists on classic pastimes you enjoy. For example, if you're a fan of jazz, she might introduce you to a young artist who's putting a fresh spin on the genre. Or if you enjoy photography, she might suggest exploring urban landscapes together, merging your classic techniques with her eye for modern aesthetics. This isn't just about finding things to do together. It's about creating a unique space where both your experiences and her fresh perspective can shine. The next sign is similar. Have you ever noticed a younger woman not just participating in your interests, but actively advocating for them? This goes beyond just showing up or asking questions. We're talking about her defending your passions to others, or even introducing them to her own social circle. Imagine you're at a social gathering, and the topic of your hobby comes up. A younger woman who's attracted to you might jump in, explaining to others why it's fascinating or important. She's not just parroting what you've told her. She's internalized it, found value in it, and now wants others to see that value too. This kind of advocacy is powerful. It shows that she's not just tolerating your interests or playing along. She's embraced them as part of who you are, and by extension, as part of what draws her to you. She sees the passion that drives you, the depth of your knowledge, and she wants others to see it too. Now, you might be wondering why this is so significant. Well, when a younger woman makes these efforts to bridge the age gap through shared interests, she's demonstrating something profound. She's showing that she values the connection between you beyond just surface-level attraction. She's interested in who you are as a person, in the experiences that have shaped you, in the things that light you up inside. This kind of connection, one based on genuine interest and shared passions, that's the foundation of a relationship that can truly stand the test of time. It's not about age anymore. It's about two people finding common ground, learning from each other, and growing together. These signs were all important, but I left the most special at last. All right, gentlemen, we've covered a lot of ground, but now we're getting to the heart of the matter. The sign we're about to discuss, it's the one that truly separates the men from the boys. I'm talking about emotional intimacy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Emotional intimacy, isn't that just fancy talk for being touchy-feely? Not at all. This is about connection on a level so deep it transcends age, looks, and even common interests. It's the kind of bond that makes a younger woman see you not just as an older man, but as her rock, her confidant, her safe harbor in life's storms. So what does this emotional intimacy look like? Well, it's not about grand gestures or flowery words. It's in the quiet moments, the unguarded conversations, the shared vulnerabilities. It's when a younger woman feels comfortable enough to let her walls down completely in your presence. Picture this. You're sitting together, maybe after a long day. She turns to you, her eyes full of trust, and starts sharing her deepest fears. Not just surface-level worries, but the kind of fears that keep her up at night. The fear of not living up to her potential, of disappointing her family, of never finding true happiness. And as she speaks, you realize she's not just venting. She's inviting you into her inner world, a place few others have seen. This, gentlemen, is emotional intimacy in action. It's not just about her sharing. It's about the fact that she chooses you as the one to share with. In a world where young people are constantly bombarded with messages to keep it light, to not be too much, she's choosing depth with you, but it goes both ways. A younger woman who truly values emotional intimacy won't just dump her feelings on you. She'll also create a space where you feel safe to open up. She'll ask about your dreams, your regrets, the roads not taken. And when you share, she won't judge or try to fix. She'll listen, really listen, in a way that makes you feel truly heard and understood. Now, here's something crucial to understand. This kind of emotional intimacy, it's not just a nice bonus in a relationship. For many younger women attracted to older men, it's the main event. They're not looking for a sugar daddy or a status symbol. They're looking for a genuine connection with someone who's lived enough life to have real wisdom to share. Think about the last time you had a deep conversation with a younger woman. Did she lean in, hanging on your every word? Did her eyes light up when you shared a hard-earned life lesson? That's not just politeness or curiosity. That's her recognizing the value of your experiences, the depth of your character. But here's the kicker, and this is where many men miss the boat. This desire for emotional intimacy often shows up in unexpected ways. It's not always about deep, serious conversations. Sometimes it's in the way she remembers tiny details about your life and brings them up later. It's in how she notices when you're off and asks what's wrong, even if you think you're hiding it well. It might be in how she shares her day with you, not just the highlights, but the mundane details too. Because in doing so, she's not just passing time. She's weaving you into the fabric of her daily life, making you an essential part of her world. Now, I'm not saying every younger woman who shares a personal story is madly in love with you, but when you see a pattern of openness, of seeking connection beyond the surface, of wanting to understand and be understood, that's a clear sign of attraction that goes way beyond physical. This level of emotional intimacy is rare, gentlemen. In a world of swipes and likes, of curated social media personas, finding someone who wants to know the real you is like striking gold. And when a younger woman shows this kind of interest in your inner world, it's not despite your age. It's because of it. She sees your years not as a number, but as a depth of experience she wants to connect with. Well, now we've been on quite a journey together, haven't we? From deep conversations to thoughtful gestures, from shared interests to that powerful emotional intimacy. These 12 signs we've explored, they're not just theories. They're real-life indicators that a younger woman sees something special in you. Think back on your recent interactions. Have you noticed any of these signs? Maybe that barista who always remembers your order isn't just being polite, or that young colleague who seeks your advice might be interested in more than just your professional opinion. But remember, recognizing these signs is just the first step. It's what you do with this knowledge that truly matters. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. You've got wisdom, experience, and now insight on your side. Which signs have you noticed recently? Write them down in the comments.